to our third episode of this amazing, probably my favorite kind of topic or realm we've been talking about, which is becoming that girl. And this is episode 3, you guys, titled Let's Get Real. You ever had somebody come up to you and be like, girl, I gotta be real with you. Like, we're gonna talk about whatever. So, you guys, we are about to be real with you right now, talking about getting into the nitty gritty. We're gonna talk about this. I don't want to say like obsession around what people have with manifesting. We're going to talk about keeping up with the Joneses and, just trying to live within your means. And we are also going to talk about how actions speak louder than words, you guys. We are getting into I want to say, like, this is a sandwich. We started out with the bread and the mayonnaise. Now we're getting into the meat and the cheese, the thing that actually makes this sandwich a sandwich and this becoming that girl plan a plan. So we're gonna get right into it, you guys. No super long intro. We're so happy to the people that have been keeping up with episode 1 and 2. If you haven't, go on ahead, run back to listen to 1 and 2 so you can now tune back into 3. You guys, thank you again. And Kaylin is gonna kick us off with the start. Wishful thinking and manifesting.
Yes, y'all. I'm super excited for this episode. Super excited for this season in general. I feel like this is a much needed season. Like, we can't say it enough. But we're going to kick out the gate with this whole wishful thinking, manifesting that is taking over our generation. It is just far too common. And I feel like if you're not super careful with it, then you can get lost in it. So we want to make sure that on our journey to becoming that girl, we are not wishful thinking. We are not like manifesting and thinking like God is a genie or there's some genie out there that's just going to make everything we write on a paper come to life, because that's just not realistic, right? There's nothing wrong with manifesting though, guys. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with affirming yourself of the things you want, affirming the self of the things that you desire out of life. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, on the journey of becoming that girl, it is imperative that you put in the work necessary to get to where you want to go. It's not about writing it on a piece of paper 3 times and then blowing on it and then putting some crystals on it and then boom, it just happens. Like, I feel like we just live in times where a lot of people feel this way. And hey, I ain't knocking nobody if it worked for you, but all I'm saying is, if you listening to this podcast right now and if you're on your journey of becoming that girl, it's some things that we got to do to get there, okay? So I'm going to share with you all some ways where you can quote unquote manifest when in reality we're just putting action to the things that we want to happen, right? So number 1, have a journal set aside where you are actively writing the things down that you desire to happen in your life as if they already happened, right? So that's kind of a form of manifesting. I've watched videos and I've seen people speak about, writing things down as if they've already happened. For example, I'm so excited to be driving down Malibu in my Mercedes G-Wagon, whatever, like, write things as if they're already happening, right? But what I like to do in my journal, I wish I could show y'all my journal right now. But for my listeners, what I like to do in my journal is I like to start off with the header, Dear God, because I feel like this is a way to just not only strengthen my relationship, but also strengthen my faith in God, that He's capable of providing me opportunities and He's capable of providing me the things that I desire to have. But when you're writing to God, you have to be really careful with your wording, okay? You got to come correct when you talk to God. You got to approach God correctly. You can't just be saying anything. So if you are going to use this journal prompt where you're starting off with Dear God, make sure that you're starting off with thanking Him. You don't want to just ask Him for things out the gate. Dear God, thank you for, waking me up this morning. Thank you for putting breath into my body. Thank you for allowing my body to be fully functioning. Pray for people, and then you can start thanking God for things that haven't happened to you yet, but you're thanking Him as if they've already happened. I've done this for different things and it has worked. I guess I could tell y'all for the things that it's worked for. So I wanted to become an RA, which is basically just a position on campus where you like look over residents, but in reality, like, you get free room and board, free meal plan. So I've always wanted to have this. And so in my journal, when I was just doing my journal prompt one day, that's one of the things I wrote down, along with several other things. My internship, I was like, I thank you, God, that I got the Streets 94.5 internship. I'm so happy to be interning here. Like, I just talked as if I already had it, but I was incorporating God into those plans, and it worked. I got my RA position literally 2 weeks before we were even, like, the RAs were even supposed to move on campus. I got a call from a lady, because I got, like, on the wait list at first, basically. And I got a call from the director basically saying, like, hey, we want to offer you a position. I was just like, bro, God, like, you cannot tell me that God is not real. Because I dead just thought it was.
Kaylin,
She the latest
Kayla,
RA.
her residents love her. Kayla's a great RA. Out of all of our friends, yeah, she's lit. Like, out of all of our friends, we've had friends. Brooke was an RA before too, but they're both great RAs. But Kaylin, like, Kaylin has a motherly nature about her, you guys. But she treats her little residents as her little Sharon. So
I do.
it worked out. It worked out.
I do. It really worked out. And I was nervous this year too, because I first became an RA last year. So I'm just letting you all know what happened for me, like, in 2020. But in 2021, I was super nervous for my residents too, because I have boys and girls, but it worked out perfectly. Like, I love them all equally. So I wrote that down in my journal. I was like, dear God, thank you. I'm so happy that I got blessed with the resident assistant position. I'm happy that all my residents love me. I have a good relationship with them. That's one of the things that I wrote down. I'm going to find that journal prompt, and maybe I should take a picture of it and maybe, like, put it on our story or something, and then we can kind of, like, correlate it with this episode promo, because that would be really dope for you all to see. But I wrote that down. I wrote down my summer internship. Like, so many things that I wrote down are coming to life, and I wrote down plenty of other things that I desire for my life that haven't happened yet, but who's to say that they won't? So that journal prompt, I really, really like. Dear God. And there's something so powerful about incorporating God into making those things happen. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people desire a lot of things, but we want to make sure that anything that we want to come to fruition in our life is through God and is aligned with the plans and the goals that He has for us, right? So that's number one. The next thing is to reevaluate the goals that you want to accomplish and what it is that you're manifesting, and then prioritize what it is that you want to come sooner than later. So look at your goals. Some goals we have are like, they kind of far, but some goals we have, we're like, okay, this is doable. This is doable within a couple months or a year, right? So whatever is prioritized first, you then want to think about the kind of foundation that's needed in order to acquire these things, right? Think of ways that you can maintain these goals and do your research on these goals. Like, really come up with that plan to action, right? So you have your goals, you manifested, you wrote down to God what it is that you desire. You're going to reevaluate, look at what it is that you wrote down, and see in order how you want these things to kind of happen, right? Once you do that, the first thing that's prioritized, you want to immediately research what it's going to take to acquire this thing. For example, you want a new car, you want a Tessie. Is that my bestie in a Tessie? Like, you want a Tesla, right? If that's something that you want to acquire within 6 to 12 months, the first thing that you would do is thank God that you have the Tesla. Thank God that I'm riding in my brand new 2020 Model X, period, all white, red interior or something. And then you research what it's going to take to get there. What kind of credit do you need? What's the down payment? How much money are you going to need to save? How much money are you going to need to make monthly in order to get to this goal? So that's what I mean by breaking it down. You want to make sure that you're breaking it up to a 6-month or 12-month plan, or even a 3-month plan, or even a month plan. I feel like breaking it up monthly is a nice way to do it, especially when it comes to, like, wanting to buy your first car. Breaking it up monthly is good, especially when it comes to wanting to save money. What's going to be your monthly goal? How much money do you want to have in your savings by the end of the month? And how much money do you want to have in your savings by the end of 6 months, so that you can put that down payment down and so that you can buy your car? And this is for anything. This can be for businesses. This can be for you wanting to be on YouTube. How many videos are you going to drop each and every single month so that you can reach that subscriber count, so that you can reach those watch hours? Research on YouTube, what it's going to take for you to get monetized. I know it's like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, but these are things that you have to research. So you just don't want to write things down, put things in the air without actually taking the time to break down what you're gonna have to do to get there, right? So that's kind of my spiel. We can go on and on and on about this, but I feel like those are good ways to actively manifest, especially on your journey of becoming that girl, y'all. On that, them girls, they didn't just write 3 things on a piece of paper and it just came to life. No, they put in the work. They did exactly what they needed to do. Years of work until they got to where they needed to go, right? And I think incorporating God into that I hope if you listening to this podcast, you're a believer of God, because we talk about God a lot, but incorporating God into your manifesting is so powerful, and you all will be surprised on what he will do for you times 10. Right. And so I feel like this is a good leeway to lead into Sabine's topic of the importance of, putting in blood, sweat, and tears, and people who have put in blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they want to go in their journey of becoming that girl. So Sabine, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you. I feel like this is a good leeway. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I'm excited to release some gems as well. All right. So a quote I like to live with. I feel like us females, we like to use this quote for relationships. For instance, this is: actions speak louder than words. A lot of females like to use it towards the dudes. We like to be like, you need to put some action behind your words. But no one kind of uses that quote when you want to get your goals, because at the end of the day, actions do speak louder than words. As Kaylin said, you could manifest, you could say what you want, but there's no action behind it. And I feel like nowadays, everybody's like, you got to put that grind. But are you really going to put that grind? You see all these commercials, you see people with their little success stories, and you see like, I did this, I was suffering this to get where I am, but are you really going to do it? And I feel like you have to put those actions, because putting that blood, sweat, and tears, you're not going to get where you want in your journey. At the end of the day, the journey is not peaches and cream. Back in a previous episode, episode 47, we discussed the importance of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable. These girls that you see being that girls nowadays, they were uncomfortable at one point. I believe 100%, because you can't just wake up and get what you want. Life is just not, you don't get like 3 wishes. Back in the movies, you get 3 wishes by a genie and get whatever you want. No, you need to put that action. Without putting that determination and that commitment, none of your goals are going to come to life. As Kaylin said, like, even in my my little journals, I'll give y'all a little sneak peek of my journals. Well, there's a lot of things I put in my journal where I was just like, this is not going to happen if I don't put in the work. For instance, I always wanted to get on Dean's List. That's something I always wanted to get on. I used to see my friends. I used to be like, how the hell do y'all get on these Dean's Lists? Because I'm putting the same work. But then I started to realize, am I really putting that same work? Because I'm just saying I want to be on Dean's List, but my actions are not matching. I'm taking my breaks. I'm skipping class. I'm doing homework when that's not done. I'm doing homework when it's supposed to be due at this time, but I'm going to hit them with the late email. Ooh, I was sick, all that. Like, no. You want to get on Dean's List, you need them straight A's. So you know what I got to do? Woke up early, had my little agenda, wrote down due dates, got all the work that I needed to do, and then eventually, out of nowhere in the summer, I just got an email, achieved Dean's List, and I'm like, wow, I really wrote this in my journal, and now it really came to life, but I put that work behind it. And someone that I really like about her success story, because not a lot of people talk about it as well, is Mulatto, because Mulatto, she put in that work. She's someone that I know that she literally manifested where she wants to be. And it's crazy because I used to watch her on the rap game, and I remember her, a little 16-year-old girl, being mixed, and on top of that, dealing with the struggle of just being a mixed girl in Atlanta, and the criticism that she dealt with just being a mixed girl that just wanted to do music. Not a lot of mixed girl rappers nowadays. Usually it's predominantly black women. So the fact that she's mixed, a lot of people were coming at her, and the fact that she even won the rap game. Then So Def, they wanted to sign her, Jermaine Dupri, because he's the host of the show. And the fact that she even won, and she denied his label, because the fact that she even saw bigger dreams for herself. Like, she literally kept with the achievements, and she kept going with her rapping. The fact that I remember she used to be drop YouTube videos once a week, SoundCloud, all that. And the fact that she got signed to RCA, and then now she's the hottest rapper right now. That girl, she put blood, sweat, and tears. And I know her journey was not sweet, because the fact that even the fact that her name is Mulatto, she had to deal with that criticism as well. But she also fought for her name. At the end of the day, she fought to be where she's at, because honestly, she deserves to be where she at. That girl from 16 years old, grinding, did not stop, dropped content after content, even had the option to be on a record label and still denied that and waited for something bigger. That's how you know the journey just never stops. Keep going and put that action behind words. You can't just say, I want to do this without no action. So my question, oh, sorry, keep going.
And I love. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, no. Before you ask your question, I was just going to marinate on Mulatto, because I love how you brought up the fact that she had the opportunity to get signed to So Def after she won the rap game. That was kind of like the deal. Like, you win and then you get an opportunity to get signed. And she still denied it. And I love the fact that you said she denied it because she still saw something bigger in herself. The opportunity was just not right for her. And honestly, not signing to So Def is probably one of the best things she could have did for her career. Like, imagine her 16-year-old self was probably like, oh my God, So Def, Jermaine Dupri, like, yes. And then when it got down to it, and she probably was reading between the lines, she's like, hold on, like, I'm worth more than this. And I think that's so important too. When you're that girl, you have to know your worth. Like we mentioned in previous episodes in this season, having that confidence, walking in the room and knowing what you bring to the table, knowing your worth, is so major, because opportunities are gonna get thrown your way, especially when you on the come up. Her being on a rap game was an accomplishment in itself. That opportunity was an accomplishment in itself. So the fact that she was able to come on there and still know her worth at that young of an age, to turn down an opportunity like signing to a record label, is just is major. And it just lets you know that God knew, she knew that God had bigger plans for her, and it wasn't gonna stop there. And so I just think that's so important on becoming that girl. Opportunities are gonna get thrown your way, but you gotta know your worth so that you know what opportunities to turn down and what opportunities to go
honestly,
for.
you was dropping the gems. Honestly,
so,
like,
go ahead with your question.
At the end of the day, on the journey,
ready.
opportunities do get thrown at you all the time. But sometimes those opportunities are just leeways to just do a quick way to get to your goal. But keep up, keep that same determination. Like, if you want to be a doctor, but hey, you got a little job. Hey, maybe I'll just do nursing. No. Keep up with becoming that doctor. You put that work in, stay with that. Never take the easy way out. I'm telling you, I've had opportunities thrown at me, and I'm just like, why did I take the easy way out? Because I really wanted this, but now I got to settle. See, that's one thing. Never settle. Do not settle, okay? Listen, ladies, being that girl, do not settle for less. Know your worth. As Mulatto literally had the option to make money at 16, get signed to a label. And Jermaine Dupri, I ain't gonna lie, he got some credentials. Mariah Carey, TLC, who else did he do? Queen Latifah. What's those two boys that did the jump? I forgot them, but those two, like, he made people, so he got credentials. But the fact that she even waited, and still, I know that journey that probably hurt her. Like, I really turned down a couple $1 million and a label, but I see some of myself bigger and better. And the fact that Mulatto, she's the hottest rapper right now on every feature. Like, I am so proud of her, because she literally saw from this girl from 16. I think she's at least in her early 20s. And the fact that she did not give up, and she saw bigger for herself. So ladies, do not settle. Whatever you want to do in life, listen, actions do speak louder than words. I'm telling you, don't try to reference it with the boys. Remember, put it towards your goals, okay? That's a quote you got to live with. And my question for you ladies, how has your journey been so far from transitioning from high school to college? Have you achieved what you wanted so far in that journey?
I think going back to what Kaylin has said about like making small goals and big goals, I definitely have been able to knock off some small and big goals, honestly, since from 18 to 21. I'm in a completely different, I think, business space. At 18 years old, I was still calling my parents, hey, can you guys send me a little $50, for the week, make that stretch or whatever, and now I've been put in a situation to where I am able to be fully financially independent on myself, creating like a little mini lifestyle for myself that I see growing. So I mean, that key word is transition. I feel like who I was at 18 is not who I am now, and is not who I'm gonna be when I graduate in May and then go on into the real world and just transition into that phase of my life. So I mean, definitely I'm happy that I've been able to knock down like some of my small goals, my big goals, and I'm excited to just keep keep going. You know, I never want my transition and my flow to halt until I'm like 65 and I'm with my little husband and we craning it old and we like, yep, we did everything. We did everything we wanted to do. We, you know, God bless us in ways we can't even imagine. We cool. We're done now.
Okay,
But
girl, I
until
see
then,
you.
I want the train to keep going, keep moving.
Okay, girl, I see you.
Yeah. Honestly, like coming from high school, I wish I did like plant those seeds, and I wish that I was a little more like adamant about certain goals. But the main goal that I did accomplish when I wanted to come from high school to college is K squared. Like, I always came in wanting a radio show. Like, I literally visited St. John's and went to the radio station immediately when I was a senior in high school, and I came to visit, met the president, you know, met a few people, went in the studio, and I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. And I feel like that's probably one of my biggest testimonies. Like, I stayed to course, I did the hours. It was definitely not, you know, it didn't turn out how I expected it to be, because it turned out better than I expected it to be. I didn't know like what the show was going to consist of. I didn't know who I wanted to be on it. Like, I had ideas, but then I was like, and I feel like everything just aligned so perfectly. Like, it couldn't have aligned better. We did the show. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Sorry. You see how the devil be always trying to interrupt when we about to get some good stuff, like, hey. But we stayed the course, did the show, got the hours, and then all of a sudden things just started picking up for us. We started getting buzz on campus like we didn't expect. We ended up getting a whole award. Then the following year we had like a table and mad people was coming up to us. Like, it just started to grow in ways we didn't even expect it to grow. And then it changed into a podcast.
100%.
Like, we didn't even expect. Bro, we did not expect this to be a podcast. Like, for our day one listeners, y'all know we was K Square Radio before we was K Square Pod. We were K Square Radio. We did not expect to turn into a podcast. The pandemic hit. We were panicking. We was like, dang, like, what are we going to do? Kiara was like, why don't we just turn this into a podcast? And I'm just like, wait a second. You're so right. And that's just the importance of team. Jonathan, shout out to Jonathan. He's not on here right now. Well, he is, which I can't see him. But shout out to Jonathan. Jonathan came on board, helped us with all technical issues, just helped us better structure our podcast. Everybody plays such an important role, and I feel like this in itself is one of the biggest goals that I personally feel I've accomplished, because wanting to be a radio host and wanting to have my own college radio show was what I wanted to accomplish in college, and I feel like I've done times 10 that. And so that's probably one of the biggest things that I'll have to say. Also, just growth in myself, growth in my mindset, growth in my abilities to be able to really set out the things that I want. YouTube is another one of my goals that I'm still trying to work on, and I'm trying to force myself to really get into. And there's so many other goals that I have set to accomplish, and we're still so young, and there's still we have so many more ways to go, y'all. But that will have to be one of my major goals, to answer your question, is that. And I think that in itself just shows you how God always has bigger plan for you than what you could have ever expected.
To even answer my own question, I feel like high school, I've always wanted to be in the media. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I always thought, be a little broadcast reporter, you know, Channel 7. That's probably was going to go into the TV club at St. John's, get on the little news coverage. And all of a sudden, I ran into Kaylin. And then I had class with Kiara and these two girls. I'm like, wait a minute. We all black. We all cute. And we love communications. This is just perfect. And then we just clicked, and then K squared. Like, I'm going to be 100% honest. I never thought about radio my entire life. I said, since I was a kid, I'm going to be an entertainment news reporter. I'm going to do e-news. That's what I want to do. That's exactly what I want to do. And the fact that I'm doing entertainment, but the fact is radio, and then the fact that podcasts now, I love just talking. And the fact, like, even, in the beginning, y'all didn't even see me, but the fact, like, y'all could see me and I could still talk. And I feel like that was just my goal. I just wanted to do something in media, and I didn't know what it was. And the fact that it just clicked, and now people are able to see my personality in some form or way. You know, even if you follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty quiet, basic stories, little Snapchat, that's it. Like, I'm not on the YouTube scene yet. I'm coming. I'm getting it together. But I feel like the podcast is just made people able to see my personality. I feel like it's been so hidden unless you know me personally, and the fact that people outside of my friend group, outside of my circle, are able to see my personality and see this is something I really do truly love. I guess that's something I really accomplished. The fact that I met two people and then we just made magic. That's what really just happened. And honestly, these two people, I love y'all. Y'all just we clicked. We made K squared. Like the fact that it took us like 2 months and we was booming. I don't even know how we did it. So honestly, we did that. And also on top of that, Kiaran, you gonna give us some gems today and being that girl too? Cause I'm ready to hear more being that girl. Cause you know we getting a little sappy here being oh lovey dovey. Kiaran, give me some gems today. What you got for me?
Sometimes you gotta tap into the emotions. People gotta know the backstory. Just like we went through Mulatto's backstory, they gotta know K Squared's backstory. So I
Yep.
definitely third what Sabine and Kaylin both said about K Squared. I didn't imagine it to be what it is now and what it is going to be in the future. So everybody does, in our journey now, just wait. Give us a year, 6 months, who knows? Whatever is in God's plan for K Squared, you guys will be able to see the elevation and just watch the journey. But we do have to get back to our meat and cheese of this sandwich. We're gonna wrap it up with this last one. But you guys, I want to talk to you about stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. I think a lot of people try to keep up with the pattern. We talk about this plenty of times, you guys. Keep up with the pattern of other people's lives and not really hone in on their lives and their journey. So I have three things underneath the umbrella of not wanting to keep up with the Joneses, and that is learn to say no. It's okay to work a 9 to 5. Save, save, save. You guys, it's okay. And my dad had to literally beat, not metaphorically, you guys, or it is metaphorically. He had to literally beat up the side of my head, Kiaran. It's okay to tell people you can't go out. It's okay to say you can't go to dinner. It's okay to say you can't go to the club, to the lounge, go shopping. It's okay to say you can't do something. And at first I was just like, well, I mean, I can do it. Why can't I just go? I don't want to be bored. I don't want to be home. Like, why not? But if you really start to look back, and if you guys have ever had that, like, oh my gosh, I don't know where my money went. And then you got to go back and see where you went. And it's like, oh, my money went to the lounge and food and buying a bottle and buying a new outfit, buying some new shoes, seeing something on TikTok. I was like, oh, yeah, let me get that. That's where your money went to, you guys. Sometimes you have to say no to going out. Sometimes you have to say no to the latest and greatest. Sometimes you just have to say no because that is how you're able to save your money and not look at what somebody else has and think that, oh shoot, let me get that because that's going to make me poppin'. No, you could literally have on a $10 outfit and look like $1,000,000. And then it can be the next person that has designer, 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 and they look tacky, trash, and whack. It doesn't. And that's another thing that I want to get into is you don't have to have the latest and greatest to be fly, you guys. Thrifting, the pieces that you can get while you're thrifting for $5, $10, $30, something that would normally be way more expensive. That secondhand shopping is something that, yes, people, it's gotten trendy. Everybody, let's go thrifting. But like, that's a real thing for real. You can get a good outfit. You can be really cute, going thrifting, shopping on H&M, Fashion Nova, Boohoo, ASOS, those inexpensive brands that you can really, build your wardrobe and look cute and live within your means. You do not have to have the biggest and best and the most expensive to look fly. And another thing is I saw on TikTok actually that someone was talking about, well, while you guys are over here wanting to be content creators, and I'm a content creator myself, so I'm not even like knocking content creators, but the people that just want to have these so above average occupations, I guess, and knocking the people that wake up at 9 and clock out, or clock in at 9 and clock out at 5, that are, making a steady income, getting paid bi-weekly, having that steady income, and people knock them like as if that's not cool. Oh, they work a 9 to 5 or they work for somebody else. You guys, and not everybody has to be a CEO of something and not have a boss. It's okay to have a boss. It's okay to have a 9 to 5, and it's okay to work. All the people that are just like, oh, you gotta go to work. Yes, I have to go to work because I have to make money. Like it's not it's something that I think the stigma has to get away from, and just looking at other people, and maybe they don't have to clock in and maybe they don't have a 9 to 5, but you do. And that's completely fine because you're saving, you're creating that generational wealth, you're creating that foundation for not only yourself, but people that you can be, providing for, or anything. Save a buck. So you guys learn how to say no. Save your money, that 80/30 rule. Save 80% of it, spend or go allocate for 30%, because bills is not fun. Having a house bill, having a car note, having insurance, having everything under the sun, having to get groceries, none of that stuff is something you should rush. And that's another thing I want to get into too. I have all these little things, you guys, because this stuff is so passionate to me, because I see so many times people live beyond their means, and then they look up and they want to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? But it's like, you happened. You were swiping your cards, you were going out, you were doing this, that, and the third, when sometimes you just have to take a chill pill, sit back and be like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this until I can. Stay down till you come up kind of mentality. Like, stay down, stack your chips until you're able to, come up and really be that expensive life, if that's what you care for. And if you don't, continue to stack your chips and get what you need to get done. But I know we all have expensive tastes. We all like to shop. We all like to go out. We all are the type that are like, especially Sabine.
Yeah,
if she finds
I'm
out
working
go
on it. I'm
it's
working
like, okay,
on
wait,
it.
I need an outfit. Let me go look at what I need. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We're all that way. We are all that way. We like stuff, and we have expensive taste. But I want to ask you guys, and I want you to be real with me, on a scale from 1 to 10. How would you say, in this very moment of your life, your saving skills are? Have you done well? Have you done too much? Are you, ooh, I need to slap myself on the wrist,
Whew.
because the way I know how to swipe a card
You
is
want to go,
dangerous.
Caitlin?
How are you?
I could go first. Yeah. Let me just go ahead and go first. Honestly, I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give myself about a 6. And which is really not that good, because it's too close to a 5. And a 5 is really not that good. Like, ideally, I should be at like a 9. And I will definitely say that I got too carried away. I get too carried away as far as like buying clothes for every occasion, not looking in my closet to see what I can build from. I always feel like if I'm about to go somewhere, I have a new event, then I need a new outfit, I need some new shoes, and I need a new bag. And that's where I go wrong. I feel like I always spend my money on food. I'm a tourist. Shout out to my tourists. Y'all know we love us some food. And so over the years, like, I feel like sometimes I'll definitely get too carried away as far as like going out to eat. But my problem this year more than ever has been spending money on clothes, shoes, bags that I necessarily do not need. And the older we get, the more expensive
100%.
our taste gets. I feel the more our taste elevates, which means the more than prices elevate.
100%.
So I didn't spend money on bags and things that I'm just like, wait a second, like this, I had the money and now I'm looking, because I'm still continuing to live my lifestyle of going out to eat and going with my friends, things that I'm so used to doing without it hitting my pockets. And I'm just like, wait a second, why is my money going by so fast? And like Kiara said, I'm like, oh, I did buy that bag, and I did splurge at Zara, 300 at Zara this day, and 300 at Zara 2 Sundays later. Like, wait a second, I cannot be doing this. Like, it's just not reasonable. It doesn't make sense at this age. And so now I find myself at a place where I'm like, okay, now I don't even have the money to be able to do the things that I enjoy doing and that I was able to do before I started being able to splurge and shop and do all these extra things. But I will say investing has helped me a lot. In 2020, I put my money in investing, and I really feel like that will also help with the rule that Kiaran said, the 80/30 rule. I have no hate to putting your money in a savings account, but putting your money into savings really doesn't do much. You might as well just put whatever you have in your saving and invest into like a good crypto, a good stock, and let your money grow. And that's what I did, because it's not going to do nothing with just sitting there. You got $500 in your savings account. It's not going to do nothing but just sit there and not grow. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just use your investing accounts and use like crypto accounts as your savings accounts, and then just check back and be like, oh, okay, my little 500 then grew to like 600 in a month span. And so when you do find yourself in those tough times, you can dip back in that and be like, okay, let me take some money out of that. That's been the only thing that has really helped me when I found myself like struggling in a sense where I'm just like, okay, like I really don't have bread. And also saying no has helped me too. Like, I just can't go. Because even in those moments where I know I don't got the money, I will still feel the urge to go. And it's just like, I just have to say no. Like, I just can't make it. I just can't make it. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. When y'all at the crib, hit me up. I'll come see y'all. But all that eating out and all that extra stuff, I just can't do it. And I feel like that's so imperative, especially in your 20s. Like, sometimes you have to say no, that you can't go. And to piggyback on a 9 to 5 thing before we go into you, Sabine, because we do got to wrap up. But to piggyback on the 9 to 5 thing, a lot of these content creators have 9 to 5s, and that's what we don't like to talk about. I've seen, especially on TikTok, people who make the videos where they waking up in their apartments with the coffee and the gym and, you know, those aesthetically pleasing videos. I love them so much. But my friend Justin, shout out to Justo, my friend Justin was explaining to me, he was showing me different content creators, especially male content creators, and he'll be like, oh yeah, he's a project manager at this company. Oh yeah, she does this for this company, whatever. A lot of these people work 9 to 5s, like literally. They're making their money, they're making income, and 9 to 5 income is great income, by the way. They're making their income based on things that they do for different companies. So y'all may see content creators and their main source of income is still coming from working for someone. You could be an entrepreneur and still have a 9 to 5. It's not easy, but it's possible. You could be a content creator and still have a 9 to 5. So I just love that we're talking about this, because a lot of people get so confused as to where people are getting their money from. They think all this money coming from TikTok and all these things, and it's like, yeah, some people who have put the work in to make that kind of income on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on social media, that may be their main source of income. But a lot of these people who showing their lifestyle, they have jobs, they have 9 to 5s that is providing them this lifestyle. Especially in the year 2021, there's so many different 9 to 5s that are nice to have. You could be a creative in a 9 to 5. Like, I feel like that's kind of the route that we want to go as well. But it's like, you can get a 9 to 5 and it don't have to be like a cubicle office and you sit in there bored. Like, the same way that we have elevated over time, the same way that these companies have elevated over time. A lot of companies are with the times. It's not no cubicle, this, that, and the third. So I just want to put that out there. A lot of content creators' main source of income are 9 to 5s, period. So don't knock it. Child. But yeah, Sabine, let's hear your rating. 1 to 10.
I am a beauty guru, okay? I like to spend my money. It's not even on going out no more. I'm learning how to say no. I think that hit me sophomore year. I'm like, I need this hair. I need my nails done. I need my lashes done. Life really hit me. I think this summer, I could say, like, all right, life is getting real tough. Like, Sabine, we gotta cut the wigs. We gotta say bye to that. Let's get some braids, because braids last you longer. Save some money. Drop a little 120. That 120 saves you 2 months instead of a wig switching $90 for a little reinstall every 2 weeks. That $90 it was just. And then the lashes, that was really a big loss for me. That was a big loss, because I'm just like, wow, I gotta cut lashes. Then I used to go to these nail techs, pay little. I know y'all might judge me. I used to pay a little $90, little $120 for a full set. Now I'm learning we could go to the little $40 full sets, get you a little short nail. I'm starting to learn, like, even though I like a little expensive beauty habits, we gonna have to cut back. We don't gotta go to the top hairstylist in New York. We don't gotta pay the $280 for that. Let me start. Look for somebody. I can find somebody that's also as good as her, but for a cheaper price. Or start doing my own hair. I start doing little touch-ups here and there. I start teaching myself. I honestly believe my saving skills, starting this past summer, I started to change. Because there's certain things, like, you have to say no. And this summer, I felt like even my friends, shout out to David, because he is Mr. NYC. Anything he see on TikTok, want to go NYC. And I learned this summer, I was really playing the house, because y'all trying to kill me. New York City in the summertime, I can't go to all these restaurants, all these lounges, clubs. They add up, and then I got groceries. Now I'm starving because I went out last night, you know? So I feel like my saving skills, 1 through 10, for right now, on November 11th, I'm going to give it a 5.2. I'm going to give it a 5.2, okay? Because I've been paying my credit card bill, but even before the bill comes out, I'll be dropping a little $100 every here and there. Get the credit, good credit, because we need good credit in life. Can't be playing with the credit. And also, I'm learning how to say no to Afterpay and Klarna. They be trying to find me. No Afterpay and Klarna, because they add up. I learned they add up. Okay, ladies? I saw a little Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Blackwood? I hope I said his name right. Did I say? Okay, Brandon Blackwood bag. I saw it. And I said, ooh, they got Afterpay. Nope. And I stopped myself. I exited out the link yesterday. I said, no. What do I need this bag for? It's going to sit there. I don't go out no more. So it sits there. So I'm learning how to say no. So stay away from these installment plans. That's what really used to get me, okay? Once they came out with Afterpay, and now you can do Afterpay with trips. Y'all lost me with that. Y'all trying to make me lose my money. So now I'm saying no. I'm paying these Afterpays on time. I'm paying even before the due date, because y'all just taking money in these. I'm canceling Hulu. I'm canceling these certain things. Cause like, do I really watch shows? Like, so I'm starting lately just to really think, do I really need these things? And can I find a better alternative?
It's so important. I mean, I can't even speak for myself. Man, the way, and it's so terrible. The way I know how to spend some money, my own and somebody else's. You guys, I can spend some money. And I had to learn because I've had some high highs and some low lows to where I'm like, whoa, I should not have this number in my account right now. If somebody saw this, they would be like, oh, sis, you got a problem. So I honestly, I've had to just learn. I've had to learn, and it's trial and error, you guys. You're gonna want to see that. You're gonna want to drop $400 at Zara to get you 6 items, and the cute items. But you drop $400 and you got 6 items, where you can flip that mindset and
100%. With some shoes, with some earrings, and a purse, all together.
There's just certain things. Yes. Okay.
With some earrings and a purse, all together.
There's certain things that like you gotta know that when you're not salaried. And I have a friend Hagen, shout out to Hagen, we always talk about how like before, because I don't have a salary, she has a salary. So before, we were college students or whatever, now she's gotten into the salaried girl, and I call her, oh yeah, you a salary girl, because no matter you hitting that threshold at the end of the year to where okay, yearly I make this amount, and then you go off of that. I think until we as girls and guys out there listening too, until you know or you have a set amount of money that you are going to or projected to make for the whole year, live within your means, you guys. Some things you gotta say no on. Some things you can't buy. Some things you have to wait to buy. You have to save up to buy. And you might sound like, oh, I'm saving up to buy like $100 thing, like da 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 da. Like
100%.
Saving up for that. Yes, because if you can't
three
buy
times the charm.
you can't afford it. You can buy it, but you can't afford it. So think about it. Yes. Think about it. Start purchasing things that you can afford. And don't feel bad to be like, oh, I can't afford it. If somebody looks at you crazy, like, you can't afford that. No, I can't afford that. I'm sorry. I can't. And, move on. Because anybody that is making you feel bad for not being able to buy something or not being able to do something, yes, there's times I find myself where friends will be like, I can't go. And I'm like, no, come on. Like, let's just go, girl. You only live once, just go, live once. But no, like, you have to put your foot down, and I have to put my foot down for myself as well, to where if you really know you can't do something, can't go somewhere, can't, live this life that you want to live, it'll come. It can come eventually, but just wait, girl, save, learn how to say no, live within your means. You do not have to be wearing dripped out, dripped down, designer down to be fly. You could really be a fly girl and on a budget. It's easy. Like I said, Fashion Nova, Boohoo, ASOS, catch those sales, you guys. Beat coupon codes, be that person. Take it to the extent so you can get every last dime off of your
Kiara,
thing.
you was dropping
So,
some gems, honey.
do,
Baddie on a budget. That is the motto, okay? Baddie on a budget, okay? I'm learning what that meaning is too. You don't gotta be the typical girls that you see on Instagram. You don't gotta get all the latest trends. Like, they're honestly, first of all, these latest trends, they got all these duplicates. Honey, check Shein, okay? I seen an IMG address on Shein. I said, shoot, let me get that. Okay, so ain't nothing wrong with being a baddie on a budget. And also, everything is gonna come. You're gonna get what you want. And honestly, even better. There's always new things updated and everything. You don't have to get these boots, because I promise you in 3 years later, it's gonna be something new. So don't worry. Everything is gonna come. And if being that girl, ain't nothing wrong being on a budget, okay? You don't that girl, that's what we're trying to teach y'all. We're trying to teach y'all some gems. Being on a budget. And I like that. So we're getting there, you guys. We are giving all the gems to keep up with that girl season. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at K2Pod so that you are staying up to date with all things K2. See you guys next Friday. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. See you next week.
Bye, guys.